Hey, everybody, welcome back to the podcast. You're listening to the longest running superhero role playing game on Earth. I'm your host, the Game Master, and in this one, we're going to be talking about Invincible, Omni Man, the Viltrumites, Wonder Woman, the Amazons, just all sorts of stuff. But before we get into that, smash like, check to see if you're still subscribed, and leave us a comment. That helps us out with the YouTube algorithm, but also we love hearing from you guys. We've got an awesome community here, and that's thanks to you. So thank you so much for being here. So, with all that said, let's dive in. Prologue to this one is a recap of previous relevant games. So, in 1941, Steve Trevor was an American spy who learned Pearl Harbor was going to be attacked, and while returning to the United States, he was shot down over Paradise Island and found by the Amazons. So they held a contest called Bullets and Bracelets, and Diana, the daughter of Queen Hippolyta, won. Garbed as Wonder Woman, she returned Steve Trevor to the United States and then fought on the side of the Allies throughout World War II. After the war, she married Steve, and the two of them had two daughters, Stephanie Stevie Trevor and Hippolyta Lita Trevor. Both girls had their dad's blonde hair and their mother's beauty. Steve himself died during the Korean War in the line of duty, and the girls returned with their mother to Paradise Island, where they grew up in the Silver Age, raised by the Amazons. In the mid 1980s, after the Crisis on Infinite Earths, the girls were both members of Maxwell Lord's Justice League, and throughout the 90s, they established themselves as some of the greatest heroes of all time. Then, around Y2K, Diana II was born. She was named after her grandmother, who was now Queen Diana of the Amazons. And when the time came, she followed in her grandmother's footsteps and was given a new Wonder Woman costume. And speaking of which, I should probably take a moment to explain the costume thing. So, on the old Linda Carter TV series, the power was in the costume, and all of Wonder Woman's gear would appear to be high tech stuff that the Amazons had. Because when Wonder Woman would lasso anybody, the lasso would make these beeping computer noises, so it seemed to be some sort of a gadget rather than actual magic. And for anyone who's unfamiliar, in 1962, Arthur C. Clarke, in his book Profiles of the Future, famously said that any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. And I have always agreed with that. And I think that 15 years later, the creators behind the Wonder Woman TV series agreed with it as well. And it made sense to me because the Amazons in DC Comics at the time had such technological wonders as the purple ray that could heal almost any injury. And if you think about it, when the Roman Empire fell, the tech level of Western civilization took a big nosedive. People forgot what the Romans knew about, like indoor plumbing, for one. And all sorts of stuff was lost and had to be rediscovered. So I always assumed that since the Amazons left prior to that, that the fall of the Roman Empire would have no effect on them whatsoever. And while everyone else was reinventing the proverbial wheel, I thought the Amazons were just trucking right along. So by the time you get to the World War II era, the Amazonian technology seemed to be centuries more advanced than what we had in America. At any rate, so as a result, the Amazons in our game world had the ability to make a Wonder Woman costume that would give the wearer the Wonder Woman powers. And then over the years in our game, we showed several new Wonder Woman costumes had been made, reflecting how Wonder Woman had different looks in different years. And after a while, what we saw in our game was that basically all of the Amazons had access to that technology. So they were all wearing some sort of a costume that boosted their abilities in this way. So, getting back on topic, our main plot takes place in 2024, and Diana II is the current Wonder Woman. So when the Viltrumites invade Earth K, It's that modern Diana who leads her fellow Amazons into battle, and they are just crazy powerful. Each costume gives the wearer a strength of 45 APs. So the Amazons are punching out Viltrumites left and right. And the Amazons in our game have pre-crisis strength, while the Viltrumites have a post-crisis strength level. So that said, some of the Viltrumites get lucky and land a punch that an Amazon does not block, and that's where their greatest weakness lies. The Amazons rely on the bracelets to stop an incoming attack. But if they fail a roll, they take a ton of damage because even though they have a strength of 45, they do not have a body of 45. They have way fewer hit points than that, which is why you always see Wonder Woman trying to block. So the Viltrumites try to take advantage of this. And just like on the Invincible TV show, what we see is bloody and gruesome. Some of them, the Amazons, that is, get a fist in their stomach. Some get their necks broken. Omni Man himself prepares to end young Diana, aka Wonder Woman. He pulls his fist back and is getting ready to punch when John Redbridge grabs him by the wrist. They fight, and this Redbridge has been exposed to X kryptonite, which is the variety of kryptonite that gives Kryptonian powers to non Kryptonians. So he grabs Omni Man's head and begins to crush it slowly, calling him a cheap knockoff of the real deal. Omni Man, defiant to the end, spits in the face of Redbridge. So Redbridge just keeps squeezing until Omni Man takes enough damage that he loses consciousness. Then the Amazons take their own wounded to where the purple ray is. After that, we get into the epilogue, and that is that Superman, who we basically haven't seen through this whole invasion story arc, shows up at super speed with the Phantom Zone projector. So he flies around the world targeting the various Viltrumites and placing all of them into the Phantom Zone. After that, Superman gives a speech about this recent alien invasion, saying that the world's superheroes can't afford to be uncoordinated after this. And as such, the Justice League intends to expand its roster. So many of the heroes who stood up to the Viltrumites are invited to join the Justice League, taking up residence on the new Justice League Watchtower. But that's, of course, a story for another day. I'm going to end this one here. And just like I've been doing all week, this is a friendly reminder that as of this game, we are totally caught up now. I'm running a game tomorrow, and whatever happens in that game session will be the next video on this channel. But I will no longer have 40 years worth of stuff to draw upon to make new videos. So let me know in the comments section what sorts of things you would like to see on the channel. Do you only want me to do adventures? If so, I can try to break what we do on Saturday down into 3 parts, and I can post, part 1 on Monday and part 2 on Wednesday and part 3 on Friday, something like that. Do you want me to do like a mailbag kind of a thing where you guys ask me questions and I answer them? You get the idea, right? Let me know what you would like to see, and that is the direction the channel will move in then. But that's it for me for today. Thank you so much, by the way, since we're totally caught up now, which has been kind of a weird ride, I never thought it was going to take this long. I remember I had an early estimate for how long I thought this was going to take, and it certainly was not like, going to be will be done next year kind of a thing. But that's just how it went down, There was so much to cover where I felt like certain moments were really big and important, and I just didn't have the heart to skip them. Um, so yeah, I want to thank everybody for sticking with me. Certain patches, were kind of rocky, And there were moments where I thought for sure that people were just going to kind of abandon the channel, and that never happened. The channel numbers were always going up the entire time. They never went down. And so um, I say it a lot, but I mean it. I really do appreciate you guys. Thank you for everything. I had hoped that this was originally, I wanted it to be the New Year's Eve video. So a lot of what I'm saying here sounds like the kind of stuff, I would have been saying at New Year's. Um, but yeah, for me, this is the end of kind of a year-long thing I was doing. So I just want to thank you guys for everything for the past year, you know. Um, but yeah, I'll quit rambling. Uh, thanks for everything. I hope that you guys uh have a good one, and we will see you in the next adventure. Bye.